Hello, Leo. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, and abundance reading for the month of March 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, Leo, I'm going to be using my Groovy Weight Tarot deck. I will close out the reading with, I actually got it out of order. I will close out your reading with a Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle card, which I will share with you. That's a new deck I'm working with this month. But I will clarify in your reading with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. A lot of you ask about the cards I use, and I always link them in the description if you're curious or if you're interested in where to buy it or exactly, what the deck looks like. So I think that is it. We can go ahead and get started, Leo. And see what's going to be showing up for you in March as it relates to your money, wealth, finances. Prosperity and abundance for the month of March 2021. All right, Leo. All right, it's interesting because I was already picking up kind of a scattered energy when I was shuffling the cards and looking at the cards from what I see. Looks like that's how March is probably going to start off for you, Leo. Looks like things may feel a little scattered and maybe a little shaky. But when all is said and done, things are going to work out. You're just going to have to kind of feel your way through the scatteredness, through the I don't even want to say shakiness, but you know how it's just like things are just kind of, there's no containing, there's no containing the energy. But, it's all going to work out, especially as it relates to your money. The thing is that you're really going to have to be disciplined. And it looks like, things just have kind of been allowed to kind of be loose and free-flowing to the point to where it's not beneficial, okay? And I hope that this is making sense. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cards that showed up for you first, Leo. So we've got the Page of Swords in reverse. Now, the Page of Swords in reverse talks about there's some information, there's some news coming that something is going to be removed, something's going to be stopped, something's going to be eliminated as it relates to your money. Now, because this is in the reverse, this is telling me that this is something that you either don't expect or you don't have any control over it, or it's something where you just don't get to have any say. You don't have any input, any influence on the decision. So that's kind of what's going on the first week. We also have the Devil card. Now, the Devil card talks about things, unhealthy attachments. Sometimes being in bondage to something that's not benefiting us in some way. Could be a relationship, could be addictions, could be habits, whatever the case may be. We all have them, and it's something that we have to kind of work through if we're going to kind of bring our money up to that next level. Now, here is where it gets good. We've got the Star card. This is a very beautiful card. It's a very positive card. And it just means that, yes, things are going to come together in a very holistic way. The other thing about the Star card is that light will shine. Things will be illuminated for you to the degree that you can use this knowledge, this information, this experience to benefit you. Even though you've got stuff going on here, maybe you've got stuff going on here, the winner of this, so to speak, is going to be the one who really can take the lessons and kind of create something that is, I want to say acceptable, but it's more than acceptable. It's like something that is deliberately creative, that is going to serve you, and it's going to benefit your money and your finances in some way. You're also going to have a lot of choices being presented before you. The Seven of Cups talks about multiple options, multiple opportunities. Even so, maybe not everything is going to resonate with you, but there's probably going to be a couple of things that show up for you. Now, for some of you who are looking for a new job, or maybe looking to start a new business, just know that some opportunities are going to come up. You don't have to, be on board with all of them, but pay attention, because I do think there's going to be one or two that are going to be really, really good. Next, we've got the Two of Pentacles here in the reverse. This is really, really good because it talks about budgeting, and it talks about making sure everything is in order. The good thing about this is that it's in the reverse, so that means that you have been paying attention to your budget. You've been sticking to the parameters that you've set for yourself. You've been reeling it in when it's time to reel it in, and you've been very mindful about how you're spending. So that's really good. This is something that's definitely going to take you far. And again, it's really going to put you in a very solid position as it relates to your money and your finances. Finally, we've got the Fool card in the reverse. This is a card that sometimes shows up as a warning to not be too trusting, not be too naive. And also the other thing about the Fool card too is sometimes it talks about a false start. We're already set to go, a business is ready to launch, and then something kind of gets in the way, or we're not as prepared as we think we are. So this could be something of a heads up to you too, Leo. However it resonates, however you feel in areas where you may not necessarily be as prepared as you'd like, pay attention to that and do whatever you need to do in order to feel confidently prepared. All right, Leo, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of March 2021. Interesting. Let me go ahead and make some more room. Okay. You got two queens here. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups. Four of Cups talks about being presented with something that's not exactly exciting. And it's really interesting because I have a feeling like this is going to be related to whatever this news is here, whatever this information of something, being stopped or being removed or discontinued. I have a feeling like, it's going to be kind of, it's not disappointing, but you know how when something just, it's like you're not overly excited, but you're not really sad either. It is what it is. And that's kind of the energy I'm picking up with that card. Next, we also have the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is very discerning. He is very ruthless when it comes to making moves, especially strategically. And sometimes he can be a little bit overzealous. And when I say that, you have to be very, very careful of the steps and the plans that you're making. Try not to be too rigid. Give yourself a little bit of flexibility and wiggle room, especially when it pertains to business and work and money and your investments. Sometimes we do have to be very, very confined in our decisions, but other times we really need to pay attention on areas where we might need to be a little bit more flexible. Next, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is a very good card to see in the reverse because it means that you are moving past self-limiting belief and self-doubt. It means you have let go of any type of limitations that you believe exist that are holding you back. Now, again, we always talk about money is mindset. Money is your belief system. Money is the story that you tell yourself day in, day out about what you can do and how much you can have and what type of life that you want to experience. And this is good because it means that you are breaking free of some limitations here, and that's really going to bust the door wide open for your money. Next, we got the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles in reverse means that there's some money. I'm really picking up that there's some money that's supposed to come through, and for some reason it doesn't in the second week of March. Now, I know that's not going to apply to all of you, but for some of you, I think there's something you've been waiting for, and for some reason something gets held up. You'll probably get a message or get some news about this. It's not going to be permanent, but this is going to be something temporary, but it's still a delay of some sort. Now, the other thing about the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, it also means that there's something that, it's like something that has a money tie to it, but at the same time, I'm picking up that there's something that's not fully developed. There's something that's underdeveloped or something that's not complete. So that could be why maybe the money or whatever it is doesn't show up in the timing that it's supposed to. This is going to be really interesting here because I'm looking at some of the cards, again, because it fell on the Star and then it fell onto the Seven of Cups. This is going to be something that's multi-layered here, this news or this message that comes through for you in the second week of March. I also get the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a very grounded, stable energy. Again, I'm picking up that things are going to feel a little bit scattered probably in the first half of March. Now, the Queen of Wands, when she's in the reverse, like I said, I really feel like things are going to feel a little spread out. And also, things are going to be going on in several different directions. And the other thing about the Queen of Wands is sometimes she tends to pay attention and have her focus sometimes not on the thing that needs to have the attention and the focus. So again, you're going to have to figure out how this relates to you and your particular circumstance. What are you paying attention to? Are you paying attention to the things that you need to give your attention to in order to increase your wealth or in order to increase your money? I know I've been guilty of this. I know a lot of us probably can relate, but I really feel like there's something that you need to pay attention to, Leo, that you don't have your eye on. So hopefully this will kind of hopefully help you figure out that, yes, I need to be focused on this and not this. Finally, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a fantastic card. It's a really good card, especially in a money reading because, she's the one who really does her due diligence. She is the one who really does the research, pays attention, asks the right questions, and takes the right actions and follows through. This is very, very good to see next to the Queen of Wands because sometimes these two energies work together in a very beautiful way. The other thing about the Queen of Pentacles is that it tells us that whatever you're doing, it will pay off to some degree. So even though you've got some things here that may need your attention or things that may need to be tweaked, the Queen of Pentacles says that when all is said and done, it will come together in a very fabulous way, and it will be something profitable. It will be something that's going to benefit you monetarily. So get ready, get excited, because we all have things that we need to put in order, but once we get those things in order, they really do pay off for us in a very big way. All right, so let's continue on, Leo, and see what else is showing up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of March 2021. All right, so I can see here that you're really working on the mindset and you're really making you're doing a lot of mental work as it relates to your money in the month of March. As we move into the second half of March, all of that is definitely going to take you far. And I can see that here with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. That means you have moved past any type of poverty or limited abundance thinking. The other thing about this too is that it also shows overcoming the struggle. You will overcome any challenges, especially financial challenges that you may be experiencing at this time. It says that you are going to win. You are going to, really kind of rise up and figure out, okay, this is how I'm living my life. I'm not going to withhold anything from myself or from the people I love. And, I'm really shifting how I think and changing some of the actions that I'm taking, because that's really what makes the difference here. It's almost like changing that programming, and like I said earlier, changing the inner story of what you can and cannot accomplish. Also, we've got the Eight of Cups here, which talks about walking away from something with no regrets, not having any hesitation, not feeling bad, not feeling guilty for leaving something that does not benefit you, especially financially. Now, sometimes people will try to manipulate you and make you feel, like you owe them something. You're not playing that game, Leo, not in the slightest, and you're all the better off for it. Next, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is another heads up warning card when she's in the reverse, because this talks about being very careful with spending, trying not to be frivolous and splurging or overindulging too much with the finances. We really have to kind of give ourselves a budget. We also have to pay attention that we don't do any type of impulse spending. When she's in the reverse, that's really what it's about. It's about not being mindful with our money, or getting caught up in the moment, and then we do something that we didn't plan for, and then we end up paying for it later on. But we've got some good stuff coming up for you, though. We've got the Six of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. Six of Wands is about you being recognized and being seen in a very powerful way, especially with professional people and maybe within your industry. Could be online for some of you who are influencers or who are, digital entrepreneurs. Just know that you're going to be getting the right attention at the right time, which will attract new business, new customers, and new clients to you. We also have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is all about collaborations. I wouldn't be surprised for some of you who, may be connecting with brands, doing brand deals or sponsorships or partnerships or something like that. For those of you who are not online influencers, you're probably going to be collaborating with people in a project at work or in your business. And it's going to be very harmonious, again, because it fell onto that Queen of Pentacles. So I really feel like you're going to have the right people in the right place, and you're really going to have this synergistic energy that really just benefits everyone involved. And it looks like it's going to be a very fun project as well. All right, Leo, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. We've got quite a few repeater cards here. All right. And I like when I see that, because it tells me that things that may have been challenges, I guess, early in the month, like the Devil card here. We also got the King of Swords here. Queen of Swords, no, she's not a repeater. Okay, so let's start with the Hermit. The Hermit talks about kind of going within, taking a step back, figuring out what it is that you want to do next. All right, don't feel overwhelmed, Leo, because you really have to kind of figure out on your own. You need to kind of do some independent work, maybe even some, deep spiritual work on your own to really figure out what you're going to do as it relates to your money and how you're going to create the life that you want. Now, all of us have to go through this at some point. We all have to do some soul searching, some stepping back, because things are, kind of falling into place, but at the same time, you're not quite sure if this is what you want. You're not quite sure if you're really putting your time and efforts into the things that really matter to you. Sometimes we still have to figure that out. So don't feel like you're falling behind or that things are not working out for you. They are. You just have to get super clear with what it is that you want. And once you have that clarity, you'll see things will start to shift again. but it looks like you're going to have to still figure that out. It looks like you're still not totally clear about what it is specifically that you want to achieve. And that's very important, especially with money. Money likes, money likes it when we're specific. I'll say it that way. We've also got the Nine of Swords, another good card to see in the reverse, because it talks about that you are no longer feeling worried, anxious, discouraged, or having, sleepless nights. You're feeling very comfortable. And also, too, you're feeling very confident. I think once you take this time to kind of really figure out and go deep, things just really kind of, they settle well within you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. The Ace of Swords talks about breakthroughs, and the Ace of Swords, when it's in the reverse, it tells us that probably at the end of March, you're probably going to still feel like maybe you're stuck somewhere, and maybe things aren't quite as, I want to say peaceful, but I don't know if that's the right word. But I want to say maybe things aren't quite in the position that you want them to be. And I'm really talking about those of you who work. It's like, not that your job is horrible. Maybe for some of you it is. But at the same time, there's other things you want to do, and you really have to start making some momentum on that. The other thing about the Ace of Swords in the reverse is sometimes it talks about us dragging our feet, right? And so maybe we've been procrastinating on something. Maybe we haven't necessarily been keeping the promises that we've made to ourselves. And this is something that's very important, because if you're going to achieve and if you're going to move ahead in life, you have to follow through. And you have to be diligent enough and disciplined enough to do the follow through in order to make the breakthroughs happen. Okay, I felt like that was something somebody needed to hear, because I know there's so many of you who want to change your current situations, but at the same time we fall into old habits and old ways that don't serve us, or we do some kind of self-sabotage. Next we got the Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords in the reverse, sometimes this shows up when there's a little bit of insensitivity, right? When she's kind of in the upright position, sometimes it's being a little bit too sensitive to the point that it can be harmful or hurtful. But when she's in the reverse, it's kind of like she's a little bit insensitive and a little bit indifferent to things that are going on. Not that she doesn't care, but she doesn't really give her time and attention and her energy to things that don't necessarily relate to her, or to things that don't benefit her. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with that in certain situations. When we're talking about business and we're talking about money, sometimes that's a very good thing, because we don't want to have our emotions or our feelings getting in the way when we're trying to do work, when we're trying to do business and grow our wealth and grow our assets. So, I think this is very good. Again, that's probably a matter of opinion. But, not getting caught up in the minutia of things that are really not relevant or are not going to benefit you in some way. Some people might think that that's cruel. I don't know. I think that it's just good business sense. Next we have the Devil card in the reverse. Now this tells me whatever was going on here, it gets resolved by the end of the month. Now remember, we talked here that this was unhealthy attachments, bondage, could even be addictions. We're just, attached to things that are not serving us. Whatever that is, it gets resolved by the end of the month, because we got the Devil card here in the reverse telling us that you're breaking free, you're moving past it, the bond has been broken, whatever. Finally, we got the King of Swords. Remember, we saw him here again because we're seeing him in the upright position at the end of the month. This means that you get very, very discerning, and you really do kind of bring it all in, and you do kind of get it all together. You focus on what you need to take care of. You eliminate the unnecessary. The other thing about the King is that he's very, very non-persuasive. He's not someone who is going to be easily manipulated into doing something he doesn't want to do. He's very grounded, very focused. The other thing about the King of Swords is that he has no tolerance for the BS. And I feel like when all is said and done, Leo, that's definitely going to be you. By the time we hit the end of the month, you will have no tolerance for BS. You will have a lot of clarity about what you're going to do. And you will, move on and move through in a very significant way. I do see some growth coming, and I also see some changes coming. For those of you who are looking to, move up in your career, maybe start a new business, that all is coming. However, there's some things that you need to work on first in order to set yourself up for success for those things to play out. All right, Leo, let's close out your reading with a intuitive life coaching oracle card. This is a brand new deck that was graciously shared with me by Kelly Smith. She's the creator of this deck, and I really love it because it's a very practical deck. It's very easy to, I guess I should say it's very direct to the point. You don't have to figure anything out. You just read the card and you're very good. And I'm feeling like I need 2 cards for you, Leo. Okay, so we got, the first one was trust and forgiveness. It's time for you to let down your guard and learn to trust again. Yes, not that I was feeling like there was any trust and forgiveness coming through in your reading, but I do sense that there was some emotional stuff that need to be cleared up. So this is really good. We also got number 9, hidden treasure. You have brilliant, untapped potential just waiting to be explored. I feel like this is the one that mirrors your reading that we had today. You have brilliant, untapped potential just waiting to be explored. And it's true. You just have some things that, we all need to work on ourselves. We need to get clear about what it is that we want and what we want to do. And once we know that, things happen. Things happen, like I said, in a very big way. All right, Leo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.